Okay, here we go. Today I'm just going to make this as quick as possible because it might be a long process. I have been requested to show people how to repair these broken wings on an X-Wing. It's there somewhere. There it is, right there. This is my original one. I did clean it up and restore it. It wasn't a hard restoration job. But the wings on these are supposed to go, when you push R2-D2's head, it's supposed to open up the wings, and you got your X-Wings that stay up there. This one's all original. I'm not going to show you how to restore it today. If you want to see a good restoration video, head over to Retro Blasting and Toy Polloi. They got great videos showing you how to completely restore one of these. This one I had for years. This one's all original. I always thought it was kind of neat. There's the sound it makes. But I'm not here to talk about that. I just want to show you what we're going to work on today. I've had a lot of requests to show you how I fix wings. This is original. This has not been repaired. This is just showing you what the toy is. So now, there's two sets of wings to it. And a lot of times they just break. I mean, you can put it here where you can see it. This goes like this. One goes down, one goes up. And you can see where it is broken right there. Yeah, that's on camera. You can see where it's broken right here. Well, what I want to do, and my goal is to repair that where it won't just snap off again. If you can see on this one, you can tell someone has already used some super glue or something to try to glue it, but it's also missing the rest of the plastic. Now, previously, before I did the video, I had already done the other half, which is right here. And I don't know if you can see it in here. I need a pointer. The cut, the split was right here. You can see where that is. And someone had also super glued this before too. What I did is I went ahead and I super glued that. But as you can see right here, there's a big gaping piece missing. Now just super gluing that isn't enough, so you got to reinforce it. Now this isn't the most neatest way to do this, but what I did is I got a piece of plastic and I'm going to show you what I did, because we're going to do this other one together. But I got this piece of plastic and I put it on there, super glued it together, and now it's reinforced and it's pretty strong. I mean, I can go like this and it's not going to break. So let's get started. Here's my broken pieces. What I'm going to do is we're going to glue these, and that's how we want it to stay. Now, as you can see, there's a top piece and a bottom piece. If you flip the bottom piece over, you'll see it has this ridge for the leg. Now that sits on the ground like this, and then the top piece sits up like this, because what it's going to do when it goes together, it's going to, oh geez, okay. Hey, go ahead and laugh at me. I don't get paid for this. But what it's going to do, it's going to sit like this. I don't have an axle, so we're going to put this wood through it to hold it together. This is actually how it's going to go together. Now you can see here's the broken one. It's supposed to be there. When you go like that, they split, and this is supposed to be up. Somebody broke it off, of course. And you can see it still works without it. You see it's still splitting, but we are going to fix this other piece and hopefully have a working set of wings, because I'm the guy that doesn't believe in throwing these things away if I can fix them. A lot of the hardcore collectors out there is like, oh, you can't fix it, it ruins the value. I don't care about the value. I collect these. I'm passionate about Star Wars toys. I display them, recondition them for people. I don't sell them and say they're brand new, not damaged. I mean, obviously this is dirty as hell, but I do it because I like it. If you're not into that, then you should turn the video off right now. So, all right, let's get started. First thing we're going to do, now I'm probably going to edit this out for drying time and everything to make the video a little shorter, but it's very easy. I'm just going to put a little bit of super glue. Where are we at? I'm going to put a little bit of super glue right on the original brake. Don't use too much, because if you use too much, you got to sit there forever and hold it. And I'm going to line this piece up the way it's supposed to be. And I have to hold this for a little while until that super glue sticks. So this is probably where I'm going to skip ahead. So I'll see it when this dries. Okay, it did take me a few minutes to get the super glue to take hold. The first time I did it, I put too much on, so I had to clean it off and start again. It doesn't take a lot. So since I have taken off the old super glue, I let it dry, and I started again. And what I wiped the super glue off. I used a little bit of sandpaper just to make sure it was a fresh surface. You don't want to hit it too hard with the sandpaper because you'll mess up the connection. So then I put the right amount of super glue on, and I held it, and it dried. It is dry now, but I'm going to leave it sit like this for about 10 or 15 minutes. And that way I can be sure I can handle it whenever I go to put the plastic on and the reinforcement, which we're going to do next. And I'm not going to make you wait 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to cut it now and see it whenever this is dry. So give me about 10 minutes. Well, you won't know it's 10 minutes, but I do. See you in a minute. Okay, it's been a few minutes. My super glue is nice and dry now, but it's still delicate, so you want to be gentle with it. So as you can see, I have glued it right here with just a couple dots of super glue. The first time I did it, it was too much glue, and if you put too much glue on it, it's never going to dry for you. So easy on the glue. You just want to make a connection and hold for what you're about to do next. Now, like on this one I've already done, you can see that this is is this showing it on camera? Well, this is a piece of plastic that I've overlaid, and I put it on the top, the very top. This is the top jet. That's the bottom motor jet, whatever you want to call it. Engine, you know, I don't. You can see right here, this whole part on this piece was missing. So this is my overlay holding it together. Now that's what we're going to try to do on this next one. So I have already cut a piece of plastic here. I just happen to have some extra resin laying around from some of my other projects, so that's what we're going to use. But what you could use, if you have a third one laying around, this one I've been cannibalizing. You can see it's all cut up where I took this gun out and put it on another one rather than repair here. And it was actually before I realized how I could repair this. But you can take a Dremel tool or any kind of cutting instrument, cut yourself a piece off of this because it's about the same thickness as what we're going to use. I never throw out these old pieces. I eventually find a use for them whenever I'm repairing something. Anyway, so let's do this. You can see, all right, this is important too. This is the bottom. It's got this rib on it that lays on the bottom like this. You want to make sure that's on the bottom. The only place you can put this that it'll work and not mess up your mechanics is right here on top. And yeah, because when you put the wings together, when these wings go together, they'll be like this. This is a top side, that's a top side. This is an underside, this is an underside. If I would put this piece under here, the X-wing wouldn't close. It would be in the middle, and it wouldn't close. So you have to put it on the top on this side. Now, if you're using this side, you will put it on the bottom. Because same thing, if you put it on the top, it's going to be in the middle of those X's, and they're not going to close right for you. So, back to this one, we are going to try not to use too much super glue this time again. I'm just going to put a couple drops here. You want to be very gentle. You don't want to put super glue on your seam that you just made, because that just dried. If you put some super glue on there, it'll dissolve the glue you have, and the whole thing might fall apart. So you see, I'm just putting a couple drops around there. And I'm taking this, which I've already cut to fit before I did this. I did that off camera. And I'm going to put this like this. I'm going to grip it gently and wait till that super glue dries. I like to give it about 5 minutes. They say 30 seconds, but honestly, to do it right, I'm going to sit here and hold this for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes before I let it go. So, and once again, I'll skip through this and tell you how long it actually took in a minute. So this is nice and dry now. It's set for about maybe 4 minutes. I don't know. I wasn't counting. I just went and had a cigarette real quick and came back. And we're almost done. That's not too hard, but we're almost done. Now I'm going to set, this is the one I finished, and this is the one we're working on. Now as you can see, you got to have these holes in here. So we're going to have to cut a hole right here. We're going to use the old piece as a pattern and kind of guesstimate where the hole is. Also, this angle here needs to be cut out, which would be on this one. See, even I'm not prepared. I have to figure stuff out. this we're gonna, oh, okay, never mind. The piece that's on top of here give us a pattern right there, so we just have to cut that out right along this line. And because if we don't, it won't close and open properly. So, and this one actually, we could probably just leave this corner by itself. And so we got to cut out a square, a rectangle here, down to here, across and over there. And what I'm going to use is my Dremel tool with a saw blade on it. This makes a hell of a mess if you're doing it inside. I don't feel like moving, so I'm just going to make a mess for tonight. Let's see if I can. I may edit this out, I may not. I'm going to get started and show you how it works. But I got my trusty Dremel tool here. And I'm going to try to, am I on camera? Get this stuff out of the way. This does create a lot of dust. So if you are doing it at home, you might want to go outside. I'm just tracing right along those lines. I'm using a saw blade on here, just to make it quicker. I could make it neater if I use a grinding blade, but I'm just trying to get it done. When it comes down to it, this piece doesn't really matter to me. But I've tried and tried to do this repair on these X-Wings, and I finally found a way that works for me. Okay, see, I shaped out this edge here. Now we're going to try to cut the square, which is a little difficult to get to. So what I like to do is I trace what's there like this. Cutting along there to the end as best as I can. You're not going to get it all. Look, I nicked the plastic a little bit there. I didn't want to do that. And we do the same on the other side. At this angle, it's hard to get it just right. But you have to have that hole there for when you push down R2-D2's head to open them and close them. So the hole has to be there. I mean, there might be a way to cut it ahead of time. I prefer to cut it as I go. Now, the thing about it, it doesn't have to be perfect, because once this is all together, no one's going to see it. So that's that. Now, for the hard part, these pieces here, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to just kind of cut through that red. Actually, I can do it from this side, it'll be easier. Actually, you know what? Let's try this, because like I said, it doesn't have to look perfect. And this is not going to look perfect, because this is kind of a rush job. Just going to cut my, a little bit like that, a little bit like that. Now, if this is going to be on the outside, I'd have taken a lot more time and done it better. But I just want to show you guys the idea of how this works. So there, I got my two squares, and now you can see right here, I kind of made a mistake. I didn't go far enough in with my cross cut. So I'm going to cut a little bit more off that. Then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to finish this box off like this, like that, and there we go. Nope, it's not perfectly pretty. It doesn't need to be. Now let's see if they're going to be functional. Here's the one I did before. They go together like this. Like I said, I'm not going to show you how to do a complete restoration on an X-Wing, because you can find a video for that, just specifically talking about the wings today. Here's our axle. We'll put that in there. What do you know? It's working. Look at that. It's working. And these will hold better than, I lost my axle. These will hold better than the actual just gluing it, which is what a lot of people have resorted to. Now, some people wonder, oh, will that fit in there with the extra pieces of plastic? Yes, it will, as long as you don't make them too thick. When this is put together finally, it will, you won't see these parts. I mean, it's you'll see them on the edges because you know they're there. But for a display for an old vehicle that would have normally been thrown in the garbage, you know, people would give up on it. I don't give up on these old toys. I try to fix them up and the best I can. Sometimes I've customized them. But this is going to work really nice. I don't have a fuselage, so I guess I'm going to have to get on eBay now and get a fuselage and some parts and finish this one. But I'm happy with the way it came out, considering, you know, most of the time it would just end up in the garbage. Now, there's other ways to do this too. That's a quick and dirty way. But I think it's also the most durable way. I've got a piece out there that I've done. It was an X-Wing, battle damaged X-Wing. And I did the same thing on it. It was the first one I did. And I did that about 6 months ago. And it actually fell off the shelf. And I'm like, oh, there goes those wings. And it held up. It held up real good. So, all right, that's that. I hope you learned something from the video. I hope it helps some people. You know, I'm going to put this in my group. We run a nice group on Facebook. It's called Star Wars Toys, Vintage, Modern, Authentic, and Reproduction. We call it the SWT. So if you want to join us, look us up. My name's Bruce, of course, Bruce Jennings. We go by Jenner Custom Toys on eBay if you want to check out some of the things I sell. Any questions, leave them in the comments. If you didn't like the video, well, you know, I don't do this for money. I do this for the love of Star Wars. I'm trying to help a few people to fix up their things. So how about we just keep the nasty comments to ourselves. All right, guys, until next time, next video, whatever I think of. I don't know what it's going to be, but who knows? Hopefully it'll be soon. If I don't see you, Merry Christmas.